Hey everyone, welcome to Anti-Burgers United. Today we have an AMA with Bear Token. So let's get started by having the team introduce themselves, talk about your history in crypto in the real world, what your experiences are, and like what's your professional background and how it translates over to crypto, if any at all, and how you guys got together, how you know each other, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, sounds great. I'll start. So I'm Geppetto JP Ivy. I am the project lead for the Bear Token. I've been working with the Crypto Cravers team, which is the LLC that we're a part of, for about 9 months now when I joined. My professional background is I'm actually active duty military. I kind of kept that quiet for a while, but now everybody knows us because we're fully doxxed as a group. What I do right now is I do project development for software. So I'm not a coder myself, but as a job, I oversee 5 different teams of coders, and I kind of guide them through their processes of developing applications for aircraft. So that's what I do. Vadim here, you can go next. He's our dev.
Yeah, guys. So I'm actually dropping a link for the team, so you guys can see all of our faces and everything. I mean, I can get on video right now too. I really don't care here. So you guys can see my pretty face. So hey, I'm Vadim. My background is I'm an electrical engineer by trade. Majority of my time is within the acquisitions realm within the DoD. So deal with a lot of big sums of money, but I don't get to really get into the techie stuff as an electrical engineer, and that's a kind of disservice with my job. So I got into crypto about a year and a half ago. Started looking at the code, started doing some JavaScript, getting into React like I learned during my undergrad, and it just took me by storm. So about 5 projects later now, we're sitting with Bear Token and Bear Cub right now. They're the 2 active projects that are working together. JP also didn't mention yet that we are a fully doxed LLC. So I'm going to post the certificate in the chat for everybody to see. The LLC has been around for about a year and a half now, just under a year and a half. We have some successes. We've had a few failures in the beginning when we were starting out, but the company in general is doing very well, and we'll continue kind of moving forward with the LLC, because that's our company, that's our bread and butter, and that's how we do things in crypto. The other members of our team, JP, you want to talk about them, or you want me to?
Sure. So we have Nicholas Huell. He is our artist. He does a lot of 3D design and editing, and he was one of the original founders of the Crypto Cravers. So he's been with the team for a while. He's been in crypto for upwards of 11 years, like pretty much since the start of crypto. When he was just a kid, he was mining Bitcoin in his bedroom. So he's been around a while. He does a lot of advising for us, but he stepped back from the development role and mainly does art now. Vadim, you can go with your brother if you want.
Sure, yeah. So my bro's on our team as well. Nick, he's my half brother, and he's our community manager. Does some stuff with the communities, games and stuff. Great guy. Has been in crypto for a little while, about 3 years, I think. A lot of knowledge there, just like Nick. He's a good part of the team. A lot of experience with just the business end of the company.
And that's it. That's our 4 team members. We're the 4 core, like the partnership of the Crypto Cravers. We also have a couple people that work with us. We recently brought on Chase Franz as a member of our team. He's been in crypto for a while as well. But as far as the partnership, I think that's probably who you want information.
So the important part about Chase, the guy has launched over 50 degens. So he has a lot of experience. He put his face out there a lot because he is also a legit member of the team. He's not a partner, but he is rising through very quickly. A very talented kid. He graduated high school like 3 years early, and now he's about to graduate college about 2 years early. He's up in northern New York state area. So, yeah, he's a great asset. And the other member of our team is Mahmoud. Mahmoud's from Bangladesh, and he's one of my web developers helping me out with a lot of styling and the picture stuff when we're coding the D app and all the other stuff for the projects. So,
All right,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
All right, awesome, guys. And you guys were here before for the Shark Tank. You won the Shark Tank, so congratulations. And now you're back again to do the full AMA. So it's actually exciting. It was actually real fun times we had with the Shark Tank, and I'm glad you guys are back here. So I'm excited to kind of learn more about the project because it was a little bit from the short time we had previously. It was a lot, and it was a little bit of confusing with all the things you guys were doing, and plus we were talking about so many projects in such a short amount of time. So we finally get down to the nitty gritty here. So let's continue on with introduction. Or you guys have like a sales pitch or some kind of introduction or
we're not gonna
project presentation?
Yeah, we can just do a brief overview of the project if you'd like.
Okay, yeah, just tell us about the project. What is it all about?
Yeah, great. So the project, the Bear token, the concept was my idea. So I'll just kind of tell you about like how I came up with the project. So as the crypto cravers, we've been around for a while, and we've really just been trying to like grow our legs in the space and really understand what's going on. And one of the things we were doing over the last 6 months since the beginning of the year, since I joined, was reviewing other projects, writing articles on it. We have a Reddit page that we update occasionally, not so much lately because we've been running the Bear token, but we were doing a lot of reviews on different projects, just talking about the good and the bad of different things. And one of the types of projects that we hit a few times was, just simple rewards tokens. But the biggest disappointment that we always saw in rewards tokens was how short-lived they were. They're always just quick pump and dumps. You're lucky if they live a week, lucky if they live 2 weeks. Some cases they only last a day or two. I think we've all seen those types of degens. But what we wanted to do was to give a rewards token to the community that wasn't going to fail in that shorter period of time. We kind of know the ways rewards tokens are always structured, that there always is going to come a point where volume is going to drop and the rewards are going to drop, and you're going to lose a lot of that volume and the rewards. But we wanted to go ahead and preempt that, and the way we're doing that is through what we're calling the Bear Cave treasury. So right now we're in a crypto slump. Crypto is struggling right now. We all know. We see the price of BNB. So we wanted to combine two different concepts, right? We wanted to combine the concept of a very simple investment strategy, which is simply buy low, sell high. Right now, we're in a bear market. The prices are rock bottom. So let's start building a treasury of low-cost tokens that over the next year are going to grow. The second concept is we wanted to, have a rewards token, somewhere a community where, people can invest together in that strategy. Because, that long-term hold strategy, while it's proven, it's tried and true, it's kind of boring for an investor at times to just buy a token and hold on to it because they want a little more action, So as a community, we're doing this together. So the Bear token is a rewards token, but what's different is two things. One, we're not distributing rewards. We're keeping the rewards in the Bear Cave treasury, and the rewards will be distributed at a one-time event at the end of the token, at the end of the token's life. And yes, I said the end of the token's life, because that's the other thing we did differently. We're actually projecting a time where we're actually going to, cut the cord on this token and end it, because we think that all rewards tokens are gonna have an end. So we're just putting a date on it. That date can slide. Right now, we lock liquidity for a year, and basically the way it's going to work is all those taxes that volume has brought us, all that money that we've collected and put into the rewards treasury. At the end of the project, we're going to actually pool liquidity, add it to the rewards, and we're going to give everybody everything that we got, all the liquidity, all of the rewards that have accumulated. And in addition, you got to think about this too. It's a year-long project, and with the Bear concept, the rewards that we put in based on taxes now are going to be much higher in a year's time because of the market recovery. And I guess that's my third point right there is if next July, when the LP unlocks, if the community doesn't think that we're ready to unlock the treasury at that point, then that's fine. We'll extend for a few more months until the community and we as a team feel the market has recovered and we're ready to distribute. Vadim, did I miss anything?
So I do want to mention how the treasury builds up, kind of the mathematical concept behind it. So I'm posting a small snapshot of an Excel spreadsheet that we kind of developed at the beginning of the project, right? And if you look at that, what you can see, so we launched 28 June, and this basically tracked it to 11 July. And what this shows is basically how the treasury was actually building up through the taxes, right? Started out, there was like nothing going in. And as the project grew, it got up to like 2.95 BNB. Currently, we're sitting at 26 BNB that's been invested over the past 2 months. So the treasury is growing beautifully, and we took all that BNB and distributed it very evenly with through the community votes into different blue chip crypto. That was all based on what the community thought we should do together. So did a lot of kind of fact finding, looking at all the different crypto and making decisions together. So I think that's important to mention too. Yeah, and JP just actually posted it right there. So that's we just finished off month 2 of the project. So yeah, 24 BNB invested throughout Polygon, Phantom, Avalanche, Cosmos, Cardano, Chainlink, and Solana. Those are big crypto that the community voted on. So yeah, right. those are, I think, the important things to mention.
Okay, so basically, I think I must have misunderstood from like the Shark Tank, because I was under the assumption that you guys are gonna launch multiple tokens and they're gonna last like, let's say, a couple weeks or days or whatever.
That too, we haven't gotten to that yet.
Yes, so that is part of the project. That is not the Bear project. Those kind of came about unexpectedly. Somebody launched a fan project, one of the baby tokens, and what we saw was that it had a nice effect on the Bear token. We saw, the disbursement of rewards in Bear, had a positive impact on us. And then we decided to run a second one on our own, actually, and that's what we actually have another one called the Bear Cub. So, I mean, yes, it's part of the ecosystem, but it's not really part of the Bear token itself, if that makes sense. They're not really connected, but they're related.
So is there a larger token, like an over-encompassing project or token? Because you said you had the ecosystem, and Bear token is the first. Is that the first token that's going to be part of the ecosystem? Well,
the Bear token is, it's kind of our first real like utility project. It's, we got up, in the first couple of weeks, it was up to over 600,000 market cap. We've obviously come down a lot since then after a lot of the hype dropped off. But what we have to show for it at this point is, we have a solid treasury in the background that is, giving a legitimate backing to the project. I mean, crypto's made up. I mean, you know what I mean? What we have here is we actually have a treasury behind it to support the value of the token in addition to the liquidity of the token.
And something else to mention, guys. So Bear Cub, it got released, and the point of Bear Cub is essentially it's feeding the rewards into, like, it buys the contract itself of Bear Cub buys Bear token and distributes it to the holders of Bear Cub. That's part of the strategy there. So like when we launched Bear Cub, there was a uptick about $20,000 to $30,000 market cap increase from the buys and the sells that were happening throughout. And the intent is to continue to capture that small market within the degen space to launch the projects. I don't know if we're going to be doing it every month, but the intent is to try to launch them throughout the 12 months of the Bear token project because they're fun. We've definitely developed a name for Bear Cub. Caesar called us within like the first 2 hours for nothing. He put us in the gamble channel because he sees crypto cravers. He sees the just us putting our faces out there and knows we're legit. So he's like, yeah, I have no problem calling this. And he actually, it was funny. He made me, as the Bear token developer, transfer him like one bear just so he knew that the Bear Cub was actually run by the same developer. It was super weird how he did it, but yeah, he was like, yeah, this is, yeah, you know, these guys are legit. Let's go keep moving forward with this. So they're doing a good job. So.
All right, so these tokens, can you maybe explain a little bit more? So the bear token itself is going to last a year, and then at the end of the year, liquidity is going to be pulled, and all the investments that have been made, right? Let's see, is it on here? Or I think you might have shared it.
Yeah, it's in the Telegram. The bear token total invested. It's like the second message up from actually. Hold on.
But yeah, so it's like 24 BNB or so. That's the treasury tax, and you guys are investing that into. Okay, yeah, you share that. I see you share that. You guys are investing that into these like blue chip projects, and at the end of the year, the holders will get a distribution of the funds.
Yes. Yeah. So what we're going to do at the end of the year, whenever the project is at its end, we're going to convert everything back into BUSD and distribute the stablecoin to everybody.
Just based on their holder amount, right? So they're holding 5%.
Yes.
Then they're
Yes.
get 5%.
Yes. So it's a proportional distribution. So we released 100 billion tokens over the course of the project. We plan to burn. I think how many have we burned so far, Vadim? Are we at 10 million burned yet? I'm not sure.
Not quite. We're burning slowly. We're doing different like media engagement burns and different events that are happening throughout, just to basically limit supply. And yeah, so that's kind of the intent there is to combine the treasury with the liquidity pool at the end of the process. So basically how it's going to go is I'm going to say, okay, guys, as of right now, as of today, the project is supposed to end for July of 2023. Okay, that is the current project end date. So probably about a month before that, we're going to look at everything, and JP is going to cast a vote and say, okay, guys, hey, who wants to extend? Who wants to essentially, you know, continue with the project, right? Or it's actually, you're going to do that during Groundhog's Day, JP, right?
Yeah. So some of that, just keep going. You're doing good.
Okay. So, and at that point, everyone's going to vote and we're going to decide. All right, so the project's going to end on this date. Make your decision. You can either sell out of the project now or wait for us to pull the LP, and we will then look at all the holders, add the LP to the treasury, and then convert it all to BUSD, and then airdrop to all of the holders based on the amount of tokens that are bear tokens that are in their wallet after we pull the LP, if that makes sense.
All right. Okay. So I guess financially wise, so currently you guys have 30. See, you guys have 35 BNB and LP.
Yep.
About $10,000. You also have about 24 BNB and in the investment, right?
Yep.
So a total of, let's just say, $20,000 worth, right?
Currently, yeah.
All right. So you have $20,000, and let's say, assuming that when this is done, this is dead or whatever you call it, you know, the project's done after a year. Assuming it's the same price, all those investments are still 24 BNB. So let's just forward this. Let's time travel into the future, and let's just say the project is ready to be done, and then you're going to move on to the next project. So you're going to distribute now you're ready to distribute the LP and the BUSD. So let's say the price is still this price right now. It's 93,000 market cap. So basically what's going to happen is $20,000 will be distributed, but the market cap is actually 93,000. So
yeah,
what that means is obviously you can't just have $93,000 worth of sales, and because there's only like liquidity is only 10,000, right? So someone's value, it could be maybe like $500 if they sell now based on the market cap, but because the distribution is going to be about 1/5, let's say 20,000, and let's just assume market cap's 100,000 to make it even numbers. So market cap's 100,000. You'll distribute 20,000 to everyone. So essentially, they're getting about 1/5 of their value versus just selling, right?
Um, Possibly. So essentially, you're not considering a few things. You're not considering the fact that we are in a bear market right now, and this is going to upswing. So the value of Polygon, Phantom, Avalanche, Cosmos, all is gonna go up, right? The other thing you're not considering is the fact that their current shareholder value is based on the circulating token, not what is outside of circulation. So if there's tokens that are outside of circulation, outside of investor wallets, those tokens don't count towards the pool. So if like you're holding a full bag, which is 1 million bear, your actual distribution is going to be a lot more than that 1 million. The 1 million bear equals to 1%, right, of the total mint. But if the circulation is only, say, 70 million bear out of the 100 million bear, your percentage of the treasury is going to be a lot higher, right? If you're kind of following what I'm saying there with the math.
Yeah, because you're saying that's because some of it's going to be burnt.
Right. All of it that is not held by the investor wallets is going to be burned, right? So let me see.
All these wallets, the big wallets,
Yes.
what are these for?
So
there's a few things going on right there. So we have our token vesting wallet that we use. So when we initially paired liquidity, we paired 55. It was 55%, right, Vadim?
45 initially. Now we're at 55.
45. Yeah, now we're at 55% paired. So that remaining 45 million all kind of had a purpose. So it's in a Unicrypt vesting locker, and you can see that as the number one wallet right there. And we're using it for a few different things, right? So some of it's going to be burned, right? I think we have 15% of the total supply allocated for burns specifically. But in addition, there's going to be additional burns based on what's left in the contracts. Because, of course, when we go to distribution at the end, like you said, some people are going to decide to sell. I mean, some people probably should decide to sell at the end. But what that's going to do is that's going to put a big influx of tokens back into that contract. And if we have 20 more million tokens back in the contract when we pull liquidity, well, those tokens are getting burned because that wouldn't be fair, of course, to distribute to the contract. You know what I mean? That doesn't make sense at all. So our final distribution is going to be much lower than that math considered on the current calculation on how PooCoin makes the market cap. It's based on the current circulating tokens, which is estimating is about 94 million or 95 million or something like that. But in reality, when we go to distribute, there's going to be a huge majority a huge portion of those won't be available for distribution. So the distribution is going to be a lot less. So if you hold 1% of the token now, at time of distribution, it could be upwards of, you could get upwards of 2% of the rewards. I mean, obviously, we don't know the exact numbers at the end. So some of those other big wallets too, I can
run through them, JP, if you want me to. So the 39 million bear is the Unicrypt vesting wallet, and that's essentially a linear drop to expand the project as needed. And if not, at the end, all those tokens are just going to be burned, right? The 18 million, I know the 10 million is going to be the liquidity pool. The 5 million is the dev fee. Essentially, that's our developer fee for doing this project, right? That's split between the developer. The 18 million is the staking that we offer through Papaverse. So it's 18 million of the circulating supply of all the members that are currently in Bear Token. They've all put it into the staking option to make 60% APY, so 5% monthly is what they're making. And then the 4.5 million, that is the backing for our NFT, our utility NFT project. So I'm going to post the box number 2 here. These are the NFTs that we were released in box 2. And essentially, each one of these NFTs is backed by a certain amount of bear. So if you buy an NFT, you essentially hold a stake, part of that 4.5 million right now. that will essentially be also airdropped to you before we airdrop the BUSD to everybody. So essentially, it's a bigger stake in the Bear token if you buy one of the NFTs, or you are holding one of the NFTs at the end of the project, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. And the staking is calculated that by the time the project is over, all of that will be distributed, right? So you could just take.
Staking distributes monthly. So every 30 days there's staking. If you pull out in the middle of a month, you lose the staking for that month, I believe, is how it works.
Yeah, and of course, whatever's left in the staking wallet at the end of the project, again, if there's no purpose for those tokens, they're going to be burned. But yes, we allocated that many tokens for staking, and if they go unused, they go unused.
So, and the other thing I want to mention, sorry,
go ahead.
The other thing I want to mention, guys, like this project is already a success. Okay, we really, we love to have you. We'd love to have you join the Bear family, but at the end of the day, this project is going to end, and we are going to distribute. So it just, whether it's with or without you, either way, everyone in the project already wins, right? It's just whether or not you decide to also invest in it. So just something to add.
Yeah.
There.
Well, the main thing, I guess, for people joining in or buying it at this point in time is basically you got to do the math, figure out, is it worth it, and what's the break-even point? That's why I was asking you some of these questions.
Yeah.
I'll get to it a little bit later. So the 5% developer wallet that's locked, when are you guys planning to sell those tokens?
We will not sell those tokens. They will be part of the distribution. We believe in the vision. We believe in the project. We believe in the concept. Those will not be touched or sold. They'll be distributed as rewards at the end of the project.
Okay, so you guys are going to be getting paid with the.
Yes, we took nothing up front. Yes, this was what we decided as a team up front. We're an LLC. We wanted to be above board on everything. So we started at the very beginning of the project. We're not taking profits from this until distribution. So we set aside 5%. And we said, that's our team wallet. That's what we're making off this project. And that's it.
All right, cool. So that's good to hear. So the main thing, I guess, I would say the biggest factor with the holders is the number one wallet, the token vesting, because you were saying it's for the project depending, but that's kind of like the big question, like, will you use it and how will you use it and when? Because I feel that's the one that's causing the most concern.
Okay, well, we can show you. I mean, we started out with that wallet was about 10 million higher, and we've been using it as it unlocks. So we get a little bit of it unlocked every month. What's the number, Fadim, for how much we get every month?
What's the amount? I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
How much gets unlocked from the vesting wallet each month?
I believe it's 11 million.
11 million.
Yes, 11 million gets unlocked.
So all of that will be unlocked by, was it January or something like that? It was a 5-month vesting locker from the start of the project. So we actually have a schedule on the website. I think you pulled it up a second ago, actually. But one of the links is to the schedule and which we've been sticking to distribute it. So some of those 11 million go to backing for NFTs, because right now 4.5 million is the backing for the NFTs. But over time, we're going to be releasing more NFTs, and that's going to continue to grow, and that's going to give us that bandwidth to add to it. Also, can you let me pull it up real quick? I'll pull it up. I thought you were going to load it up on the site there. So there's allocations for burns, there's allocations for NFTs, there's allocations for staking, and I think those are the 3 primary places. Oh, and for pairing, which we've already kind of met our pairing goals at this point. So, as we go on, I've said this time and time again, if there's no use for it, we're going to burn it.
Okay. Because, that is a huge supply, right? Even though monthly unlock of 11 million, that's higher than the liquidity. That's higher. That's more tokens than in the whole liquidity pool. That's a lot of tokens.
Yeah. So the unlock, I'm really not as concerned about. We can relock it. That's not an issue. The emission schedule can be modified based on the project and how it's developing. I guess what are you trying to get at when you ask about the token lock? Like, are you worried about a scam, or are you just what's the concern?
No, it's more about like, let's say we buy right now, right? Okay, let's just look. Okay.
Yeah.
So currently I usually look at the last four numbers. So let's say we're 9,500, right?
Yep.
You guys launched at around 400, so it's about 20x or so, 20, 30x or so, something like that from now.
Yep.
At the height, it was like 8 or so x from where we are now.
Yep.
Right. So it's basically, it did a huge pump. It retraced. It's down back here again, which is a pretty big retracement. I would say, if this was like, let's say this is not a crypto project. Let's say it's like a stock or whatever. Around 80% retracement, 70, 80% retracement. That's when it's a good time to start buying the dip.
Yep.
Even earlier, like a 50% something. Because a lot of times, if it's like a blue chip stock, right, it's not like one and done, pump and dump like most tokens are. Stocks will go up and down over 10, 20, 30, or 40 years, right? So even like AMC, all these meme tokens, a lot of meme stocks, it could be a good strategy to DCA down and buy the dips, and like I say, bear market, and then once it pumps back up, you'll be in massive profit. But with crypto, especially, mainly with BSC tokens or these small degen tokens, I would not actually have a strategy of DCA for most projects, because most of them you DCA down, and never go, it dies, right? So,
here's the thing. There's no dying with this project. We have the treasury, right? So if we did not make a single another sale until the very end of the project, which is highly unlikely, but say we didn't, right? It's already going to be a success. We already have money invested. We have a solid LP, right? And that is going to be distributed at the end of the project. And right now it's worth it to everybody. Because that's the only thing. Yeah. So, I mean, it was launched in a space where there's this is how the crypto space works that we're in. Essentially, that's the ugly truth of it, is you're going to see these pump and dumps that happen because their space is filled with this type of people, right? That's what they're interested in. They see the FOMO in, and then they FOMO out, and that's how it works. So in order to combat that, like I said, we've been launching these small degen projects because it's what everybody wants, is essentially a kind of a small project to continue pumping the main project because everybody wants to invest in the new thing. And this is how it works. And we took that concept and said, okay, let's flip it on its head and say, okay, now we're essentially in a position where we still win. It doesn't matter what happens from here. It's still good. It's still going to be a great project at the end because we've already done majority of the work for it. So,
yeah, well, that's why I was asking about this, because the 40%, because it depends on how you use it. If you're going to use it for marketing or even for vesting, if those tokens get sold, so and let's say worst case, the 11 million per month, if that gets sold, the price of these tokens are gonna basically drop 50%.
Yeah.
So it's gonna go.
No, I totally understand. We're not selling this. We're not trying to tank our chart, of course. So I think what you're getting at here, I mean, you're anti-Ruggers United. I mean, like I see what you're saying. Like you're worried about like slow rug type tokenomics here, is what I'm guessing you're trying to get at.
Well, not necessarily that you guys are selling it, because like you said, the 5% is gonna be locked forever. It's just that, like, depending on how this is used, it could lead to more downward pressure. So I guess, like I said, it's all about the numbers, right? Investable. Like, first of all, like, I want to know what's going to be like some catalysts you guys have planned that could cause this to reverse. And second of all, how do we prevent it from, let's say, continuing the downward spiral after all-time high? Especially with the fact that these tokens will be getting released, which is potentially for more downward pressure. And the other thing is, the guys that got in early, right? They got even around now, they're collecting rewards and all that, right? well, the rewards are not they're not collecting rewards, like you said, is going to be all at the end. So currently, like I said, assuming that nothing changes, if you buy now, and let's say all your investments still stay the same, let's say this chart, let's say after I buy, you pause trading, and then a year later, whenever you guys unlock, everything goes. Basically, people that are buying now would be losing about 80% of their investment because the market cap is 93,000, but distribution will be about 20,000 will be distributed among all the holders, right? So at $20,000, whatever the price per coin would be about 5x less than what it is now. That was kind of my point. So basically, to make money at this point, first of all, the investment has to go up. So this 24 BNB has to increase, which it will, because we still have a whole year, and also the price needs to go up. Right? Do you understand what I'm saying?
The price really doesn't need to go up. The price can stay exactly where it's at right now. The 24 BNB is going to continue increasing, right? As people continue trading this, the taxes will continue to go into the treasury. We will continue to invest that treasury throughout the project. So if we ended the project right now, there's an actual arbitrage moment where the value of Bear is actually less to buy right now than it is that what you will get at the end of the project. So like look at 1 million Bear right now. What is it on PancakeSwap?
Let's look it up. It's about 3.7 BNB.
Okay. And how many people are holding? So if you not include the 39 mil and the 18 mil for the what's left in the LP, and you just include the 10 mil down, right? So it's subtract that from, what is that? So 100 million minus the 40 and minus the 18.
Not minus the 18, Vadim. That's the money that's in the staking.
It's 50 million, right? So at 50 million right now, that is what is held by investors per se, right? So the 50 million going to be divided by 24 BNB plus the, what was it, 20 BNB?
It's roughly $20,000.
Okay, so $20,000, right? So 50 million, $20,000 divided by 50 million.
And that's your price per token.
Yeah, so multiplied by a million, because that's what max wallet is, right? You're sitting at $4,000 right now for if the project were to end today.
No, Vadim, your math is slightly off. If the project end today, no, it's $400 per.
Sorry, I added a zero there. So yeah, so you're getting $400 right now. Sorry, not 4,000, 400. I added too many zeros in my calculator there. So, and right now it's at 3. You said BNB, so it's actually a little bit over the arbitrage, but if that kind of makes sense where we're at right now.
Yeah. That's what I was doing the math. I mean, I was assuming 100% of the market cap or supply, then yeah, it would be about minus 5x. But if it's 50%, because let's say all these other wallets don't count, then yeah, it's about minus 2x. So that's kind of my point. So if there's nothing happens from now till the end of the project, then yeah, you would be like at a loss of, let's say, 2 to 3x, right? But let's say the investment goes from 24 BNB to 80 BNB, and even though, let's say, the price stays the same, then that's when you're going to win, right? That's when the investors right now will win, right? Yeah, that's just all I wanted to say. Like, so basically, to make the money, you either have to have the chart go up a certain amount of X's, whatever. Well, actually, it doesn't have to go really any X's, because if you buy now, technically you're not losing any money unless it drops further.
Yeah, well, because depending on the analysts that you listen to, I mean, looking at the crypto market, I mean, we're looking, at least a 3 times return by the end of next year. If it doesn't happen in July, it'll happen by the end of next December. So, and that's the thing, is we're building in flexibility to the project because we want to make money. We want to project, but we don't want to over project as well. So the main thing is building in that flexibility, making sure that we're going to get a solid return at the end. And as far as the calculation of like, if we, the tokens you buy now and then we distribute right now, I mean, the price, yeah, definitely. The price at the end, if you calculate the value of the tokens right now, then no, it's going to be less. But I mean, if you have any faith in crypto at all, I mean, like, if you've been investing in this market for any period of time, it's going to go back up. So that price is going to be much higher at the end of the year. And that's what the arbitrage is based off of. So Vadim is actually working on a D app right now for our website, where you're going to be able to connect your wallet to it. It's going to show you the amount of bear you have.
I promise I won't add an extra zero, guys.
So it's going to show you the price of bear right now as it stands. So if you sell, what you would get. It's going to show you the price of your bear with the current treasury and LP, what you would get for that. And then it's also going to give you the allowance to make projections. So say I predict that all these investments are going to go up 2 times in a year, or 3 times in a year, or 4 times in a year. And then you're going to be able to see what your investment's going to look like if that comes true, right? So it's basically just a market analysis tool for you to use when you're holding the bear token.
Yeah. This is kind of what I wanted to really hammer in. Yeah, this is basically like an arbitrage type of play in a way. I mean, obviously you could do this like a normal token, buy low, sell high, right? Mm-hmm. But like the real play here, like the real math that needs to be done, it's like an arbitrage play. Basically, it's if I buy now and it's gonna, at the end of the year, what does it take for me to make a profit? Basically, it's either that the total investment has to increase by let's say 3x or so, or the token price has to increase and then I could sell it, so I don't, but if you're planning to hold it till the end and get the rewards, because the only people that are going to be getting the rewards are the ones to hold it at the end, right? So I'm going to basically spend my 3.7 BNB to get the 1 million tokens, but I'm not going to get this 3.7 BNB back because I'm not selling it. And eventually the liquidity is going to be pooled. So this 3.7 BNB is going to be gone, but then I'm going to get a percentage of it back from the liquidity and also a percentage of it back from the total invested, right? So that's kind of what I was trying to do the calculations. Basically, that 3.7 is going to be gone. And for you to break even, I say based on the math, just kind of like a top of my head, like we were doing, basically you need to either go 2 or 3x. Actually, no, wait, 2 or 3x from now, so the liquidity is going to be higher to where you still get your 3.7 back, plus or the total invested, which is 24 BNB, that has to probably go 2 or 3x to kind of break even out, right?
So and you got to think too. It's not just the treasury that's going to invest in value, increase in value, but also the liquidity itself. It's paired to BNB. So all the rises we see in BNB over the next year are also going to affect the value of the liquidity, in addition to the the market cap of the token.
Yeah. But I'm saying if we're actually just talking about in BNB, not dollar value, then like that will just be in BNB. But yeah. It definitely. So my biggest question about this is, and I kind of want you guys to think about this also for the future, to convince investors. So why you have to basically convince investors why we buy this token, and let's say, oh, the investment is going to be good, the total invested is going to go up. Let's say BNB is going to go up, so that way the token is going to go up in price. So when we need to go like 2-3x to break even, when I could just go buy those tokens myself, like Avalanche or Cardano, and when they actually do go to 2 to 3x, I'm actually up 2 or 3x instead of just breaking even at that point. Kind of like, why invest into this? Because like we just did the calcs, basically at the current situation, like we said, it needs to go 2 to 3x. Then basically the wallet has to go 2 to 3x. And or maybe in liquidity has to go 1.5x, and the total investment has to go 1.5x, something like that, But basically, it needs to increase just to break even, and then anything past that point is even more profits. Or I could just go invest into like Cardano right now, and then like a 2x in Cardano would actually equal to 2x profits for me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure. I mean that's definitely a thought I've had before. However, what you're getting out of the token is a few things. You're getting opportunity, you're getting a community, and you're getting investment advice as well. So part of what we've done so far is as the month comes to an end. At the end of the first month, we were really particular about this. We actually we did a community vote. We came up with roughly, I think about a dozen different tokens that were nominated by the community. We narrowed it down. We gave the community, just basically a paragraph analysis on each of the tokens, projecting what they're going to look like and what they're all about, et cetera, et cetera. And the community came together, talked about it, discussed it, and then we narrowed it down to those first 6 tokens that we were going to invest in. Over the second month, everybody wanted to increase their holdings in the same token in addition to add Chainlink, because that was one of the other ones we had talked about. So what you're getting here is you're also getting this community environment where people are learning from each other, bouncing ideas off each other, and just the power of being able to hold over a year. I mean, I said that at the beginning is everybody knows the strategy works, but how many people are actually going to buy one of those tokens and then hold on to it for the next year, or are they going to pull it back out and try to invest in some kind of degen project? You see it all the time. People lose money all the time. It's better to invest it in a safe project, with safe developers that everybody knows who they are, that has a solid investment strategy, or just throw your money around everywhere.
Okay, I guess that's a good that's a good point, like a good argument to make for that. All right, so let's go on to the whole ecosystem. So this token, it'll be done, and roughly since it started at the beginning of July, and now we're in August, so in about 11 months, right? 11? No, yeah, 10 months, 9.5, 10 months, yeah. All right. And then you're going to have more other tokens going to be like this, right, in the same ecosystem. And also you have the Bear Cub token. So can you explain a little bit more about how the whole ecosystem ties in with this token, and like what's going to be next for this project? Are you going to have a new major token like similar to Bear that you could get in at the ground floor again? Are you going to have another like mini token like the Bear Cub?
We're going to have mini tokens happening throughout. Bear is always the main project, right? That is the majority of where that's the serious project that we're essentially moving right now for the next 9.5 months, potentially longer, based on community vote. Right now, it's scheduled to end July 4th of 2023. But that can get extended past up to 18 months, right? And these small projects, the ecosystem is basically the smart contract of the smaller project, like Bear Cub, actually purchase Bear and distribute Bear to individuals as rewards, right? So if you're holding Bear Cub, over time you are actually getting some Bear, because the Bear Cub contract is in every buy or sell is actually automatically purchasing Bear token. So when you see small buys happening within Bear token, those are actually all Bear Cub buys. That's Bear Cub buying back. And that's the ecosystem that's developed. So as soon as Bear Cub is done, because those are about 30-day projects, right? We distribute rewards just like Bear token. And then afterwards, we potentially launch another one just like it. And it continues feeding the main Bear project. Like I said, at the beginning of Bear Cub, we put about $20,000 market cap into the Bear token, right? And it just created volume, because in order for this project to succeed, we don't need a lot of X's. All we need is just trades. If you're trading within the platform, then everything works, right? That's really what we care about. So yeah, that's kind of how that ecosystem works. Do you have any questions about that?
Yeah, so I'm trying to pull up the Bear Cub.
Sure.
Let's see here, BC scan. So let's pull up that chart. So how long ago did that one start?
That one's 2 weeks old. No, week with some change.
It should tell you right there.
Right. Okay, so it started about 11, 12.
Yeah, 11 days. 10 days ago, 11 days ago.
Week and a half, took 2 weeks.
Right, 13 to 20. So it went about but hold on, no. 13 to 23. So it went about more than 10x, right? 15x or so.
Yep, it did.
Something like that. Let me do this 1 hour charts. Okay. So who was able to get in at like this floor? Was it just investors and was it like a stealth launch? Like, can you tell us a little bit about how this?
We ran it like a stealth launch. So like, we have the bear token, but we also want to do, it's a long-term play, and investors a lot of times like short-term play. So we wanted to give them a safe short-term play. So that's what we did. We did a stealth launch. We have a network of people, that we work with to spread the word out, and that's how it went.
Okay. So short-term play. So people got in early. So the guys that got in here, what would it take to get into the next one? How do you qualify to get in the next one? Were you buying?
So those people at the very beginning were angel investors. They actually were expected to put in a certain amount of money into either the marketing wallet, the LP, or the dispersal treasury in order to be allowed to make that early purchase. What we do with all of our projects is we set them live for about a day or two before we actually advertise them. So in the case of this project, when we launched, some of those early buys were bots and they were contract buys, and those were all blacklisted immediately because we don't like bots in our chart. It's just kind of the foundation of what we do. We don't like unfair trading. So Vadim can talk more about how that worked. But again, some of those early buys were angel investors and some of them were bots that we locked down.
So we essentially launch and, we start the contract, we pair the LP, and at that point we're sitting there and I'm usually monitoring it with some of my software to basically say, okay, who's trying to buy right now? Because we are not advertising it. It is totally stealth. There's no one knows about the project unless it pops up on Moonarch or some other site like that. And obviously the bots come rolling in, right? And we're in bot protocol because I'm not about to have these bots dump on my human investors that are going to be buying this thing. So we sit there and we literally just blacklist these wallets. I blacklist them because I did not start this project yet. I'm not letting anybody come in. And then during that time, we also say, okay, if you are going to hold until the end and collect the rewards, I'm going to allow you to buy in and basically not blacklist. I basically make the list a whitelist, right? So you have whitelist wallets that can buy in at the beginning. So then essentially once everything is set and everything is ready to go, then I will go ahead and start advertising with my team saying, okay, now you guys can buy, right? And I mean, we get a lot of FOMO from a lot of the bot owners. We've had people come in, it's like, why did you blacklist me? It's like, dude, I did not, why are you buying things you know nothing about on the blockchain? So that's kind of how we run the show. And it's worked out very well. It's how we did it for Bear Token. And then that's how we did it for Bear Cub. So essentially, once the bot protocol is over, we renounce the blacklist option. So I can no longer do that portion of the contract. And then it's a solid, wholesome contract that continues through to the end. So that's how it works.
Okay. All right. So basically, this is like a mini version of your other one. So instead of lasting a year, it's going to last 1 month or
Not
so.
Not a year. These go for about 30 days with an option to go for 60.
Yeah. So the first one, the main one is 1 year. These go for a month or so. And then you're going to have like, let's say 10, 12, who knows, depending on how, if there's any time in between them, launching them. And then at the end of the month, it's going to be the same thing. You have taxes here that go to investment, or you don't even do investment. You just collect the taxes, and then it's going to go all back to the holders at the end.
Correct.
Okay, so yeah, so I guess it's the same. So my thing is, I guess, especially if you get in early, right? So let's say you get in on this one and then you get a 10, 20x. The question is, do you sell for 10, 20x? Is it worth it to sell now, or do you well, obviously, if everyone knew, they would sell the top, right? Because you could always buy back the bottom and still hold for the rest of the year and get all your rewards and everything.
Well, and the one thing you're also not considering is the traction this is building. So the first fan project, right, that JP mentioned earlier, right? That one, Ursa Moon, was a fan project. It wasn't a Crypto Cravers official project. That one went to 16K. What you're looking at right there, Bear Cub token over tripled that. So that almost tripled that. It went to 45K already, right? So the rewards from this one, Ursa Moon distributed around $2,200 to 103 wallets at 16,000. This one, like I said, almost tripled that. So in itself, these projects are gaining traction and continuing to pick up steam. Like I said, this last one, Caesar called it because he saw the last one, he saw what happened, and then now this one, it just, people are getting it. People are seeing that, okay, this concept actually works, right? And that's kind of how it's moving.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and there's always going to be two ways to profit. That's one of the other things I like to say is, you can profit two ways off the project. Obviously, you can always play the chart, which is always good. We need that because those taxes drive the treasury. And the other way is to hold. So, if you buy now, we're at the bottom, pretty much at a floor at this point. The price has been pretty stable over the last week or so. You buy now, let the price go up, sell. That's completely fine. Make some money off of it, and then build the treasury. Or buy in, fall in love with the community and stick around.
Yeah, definitely. So just to clear something up, I'm still kind of a little bit hazy of the way the reward works, because you guys are mentioning it. Then it's once a month. So like, let's say you sell in the middle of the month, you kind of forfeit what you would have gotten for that month.
Well, you're talking about not the
reward,
the stake.
The staking. That's the stake. Oh, the staking. The staking's every month, right? So
yes,
staking's every month, but the rewards the same with the Bear Cub.
Just
you
once.
Don't get anything until they're all both at the end of those projects.
So the Bear Cub is a little bit different. There are rewards for holding. So there's basically a reflection fee that when you see those buys of Bear token, those are actually going out to the investor. So it's both. But the little baby projects essentially have right now. We're actually thinking about doing away with it, but right now they distribute Bear token to holders while the baby project is happening. So it's not just an end reward. There's also a reward that's happening on a daily basis. So
yeah,
but yeah.
So let's say for the Bear Cub one, right? So it's been already 2 weeks, so it's gonna die in 2 weeks. And normally, especially like the smaller cap you go, the more degen of a project. It really is just most of the time one pump, if any at all. It's hard to go back to like all-time highs, right? You barely see any projects that would have a pump in the first couple hours, then take a dip, and then go and do another pump, or like say a week or two later, go higher than all-time highs. So most likely, more often than not, most of these projects, they're going to have the one all-time high in the beginning. That's where all the hype is at. And especially with the bear market, it's hard to go get additional hype after its launch. I mean, I've seen this myself with marketing projects. The issue is marketing projects that are already been running, because we have these investors in this space. I wouldn't even call them investors, degens, gamblers. They really are just in for the hype for the initial, day or two, the launch. Like, even if it's like a good project staring them in their face, they're gonna, I don't know, it's gonna get my 2x or my 5x in like a week or so.
Exactly.
So it's really hard to actually get a comeback. So I feel like, because I'm kind of in the same boat with you guys. Like, especially something like this, once it's hard to get investors in. Like, they see this and then they know it's gonna end in 2 weeks. Most likely, it's not gonna go up past this point. So it's more of like, if it drops to basically a starting price, then of course it's like the arbitrage. Like, when is a good price to buy to where your rewards plus your liquidity percentage is actually going to be valuable? Because the lower this goes, right, the more of the tokens are going back into liquidity.
So at the end of Ursa Moon, I bought 3 bags of it at the end because it went so low that it became an arbitrage, and the gamblers didn't do the math and didn't see, the value to buy a full bag was, I don't know, like $20. And I was, the rewards at the end were going to be about $60. It ended up being $70 per bag at the end of that. So small stuff, right? Small potatoes, but still, that was just the first, kind of iteration of it to show the concept. So
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like these are definitely more like arbitrage plays, especially
yeah,
the short-term ones. It's like, well, I don't think there's going to be any chance it's going to go up to all-time highs, but let's say it drops low enough to where your rewards plus liquidity percentage is going to be paying for itself. Then it's definitely gonna. It's kind of like a balancing point, but it's not an
yeah,
easy. It's not as easy for investors to know. So I think it could go to really low and no one's going to know about it, to where it's a no-brainer. Like you buy this, you make it 2x guaranteed, because they can't go
yep.
any lower. Same thing with, I think, with
Cool.
the bear token. Let's say let's say currently right now, like my point was, currently right now it's about 3-4x. You'd be at 3-4x. Let's say nothing happens, but let's say at the current price right now would have actually been 3-4x lower than what it is right now. Let's say instead of being at 8,500, let's say it's about, like, let's say 2,000. Then it'll be a no-brainer, because if you buy it at 2,000, with your liquidity plus your percentage that you're getting from the 24, 25 BNB of investment, you're gonna make money instantly. So that's what I'm saying. I think it's a pretty cool concept. It's like really like it's for the people who really know what they're doing, like the math. I think to make good profit, I feel like. Because let's say this drops 10x, it's a no-brainer. I'll buy it. I'll keep on buying it, not too high, because it'll just pump up and it's going to defeat the whole purpose. But let's say it stays at 10x, I'm going to buy $100 at a time, because I'm literally doing the math, and I know it's like I'm going to make 3x at the minimum just from
Yeah,
the
and that's what the
distribution.
D app is going to show. I'm literally going to show the arbitrage to everybody, just so they can see the play. Because I already have the math worked out. I'm just trying to get the API for the pricing for everything in there right now. So that's kind of where we're at. But yeah, 100%, man. And the thing about the bear token, so something to keep in mind, we did this in a bear market. Okay, we did 640K in a bear market. We collected a ton. We attracted a ton of people, and right now, like you said, the space is dead. Okay, it's really tough to get anybody to come in to have some fun in crypto. What I can tell you is that once things start picking back up again, we're starting to leave the bear market and turn more into a bull market. This project is still going to be around. This project is still going to be there because there's a timeline on it, and we are going to stick to that timeline. So what do you think is also going to happen as the price of crypto continues to go up, right? So it's basically like, if you believe in crypto, you believe in the bear token, because that's what we're based on. We're based on the crypto concept and the fact that crypto will continue to rise in price. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So I like the fact, because that's the way the space is. That's kind of what it is boiling down to, especially in the bear market. It's like all these projects, like especially the good ones, they're struggling, and it's like 2 or 3 days that marketing is basically wasted. It's almost no point to even market after like a week, because they're gonna see a chart. Like every chart is gonna look like this. I'm not saying your chart. It could be like time frame of hours, days, but after launch, it's gonna look like this. It's gonna go down, and then everyone starts jeet cascading down, and it's kind of hard to get, even with marketing, doing AMAs, it's hard to get it going back up. It's almost like the devs have to pump it themselves to kind of get the initial pump going, to get the FOMO. So everyone that either sold or all the new guys coming in have to go, oh, check it out, there's something going on, guys. Looks like buys are coming in. And then that's like the only way, really, because right now, like new investors, it's really hard for them to especially because it's like the bear market. If it's bull market, it's like everything's going up 10x, no one really cares, right? But it's definitely difficult in the bear market for sure. So yeah, I think the fact that you guys, it's only lasting like a month or so and everyone knows it, and it's like, do you buy it's all about, it's like a gamble, but it's like at least everyone knows what's going on, right? If you buy here, maybe it's already up 10x. I don't know, because it might go up another 10x or 2x, you can still make a profit. Or, if you see it starting to dip down, okay, you get out and you buy at the bottom, with the arbitrage opportunity. There's like some cool place to make here for sure. I like it. So
Yeah, and that's the thing is, you mentioned that like that point of arbitrage being lower than the current market cap, and I get that, but I don't know if it's ever actually going to get to that point because people see the potential here, and if it ever did get to that, that pump is going to like immediately rise that point of arbitrage because the taxes start flowing when you get more volume. So every low, you know what I mean, that we hit, the next low is going to be a little higher. Once we hit that arbitrage point for the first time, the lows are going to get higher every single time because it's just the way the math works. As the treasury grows and the arbitrage point's higher, the token logically can't dip below that. So I guess it's at the investor's point is 2 times arbitrage. Is that where the best buy-in point is, or is it the literal amount if it ended today like you were getting at earlier? And that's for everybody's to make their own decision on that. There's a lot of room with this chart to play. In my opinion, it's quite low right now. Based on my own projections, I think anything below 150,000 market cap right now is a steal for the rewards you'll get at the end. I mean, I'm more of a traditional investor. Crypto, I love crypto, but most of my investments are traditional. And for me, seeing the type of return that the potential return on this project, it's a no-brainer to buy right now. To me.
Yeah, and even if you're not just buying straight bear, you can always go and buy NFT because the NFT also gives you bear, right? And it's backed by bear at the end of the project. So at that point, additionally, all of your buys go into either buybacks or directly into the treasury, and a small percentage of it goes into marketing. So it's one of those 3. It's not like we're keeping the bear NFT money to the devs. It's still staying with the project and continues to grow the project. So, yep.
All right, cool, awesome. All right, guys. So yeah, I'm done with my questions. Let's open to the community for questions. Fire away, guys.